Hello, you beautiful legends, and welcome to Blunt Force Healing Podcast, episode 356. Today is Saturday. Surprise. The weather actually changed drastically. Well, at least in terms of, direct sunlight and roasting hot heat wave in the last couple of days. The temperature is still fairly high, but overnight and in the morning we had a bit of drizzle and rain. Not funny fact is that when we came back yesterday from the beach, I left the windows opened a little bit in the car, all four of them, and I forgot to close them overnight. And in the morning the drizzle started and I still wasn't aware or didn't remember about that. And our neighbor rang the bell and I opened the door, and he came in that drizzle just to tell me that the windows are open. Of course I thanked him, and that was the moment that I realized how bad it must be inside. But fortunately, while there obviously was a bit of water kind of coming in, the sides of the seats were a little bit wet, or moisty, I'd say, but they weren't soaking wet or anything like that. It's not as bad as I thought, so thank God. But still, I need to dry the seats. It's now very dry, so I'll probably leave them open again. Fingers crossed. I just need to put myself the reminder to make sure that I'll close them before we go to sleep, to make sure that just in case it starts raining overnight, I'm not doing the same mistake again. But yeah, other than that, not funny fact, it was a normal Saturday. It was again a bad night from the sleep perspective, because Julian is really struggling with the symptoms of that virus infection. He started coughing and he's still kind of having runny nose, etc. So it was hard for him to sleep. He finally caught a bit of a nap for longer. And then he woke up again, and then he went back to sleep again. So it was a patchy night at best for all of us, especially for Julian and myself, and a little bit for Elizabeth too. So yeah, he feels okay in terms of he doesn't have any headaches, or mostly kind of no high temperature or anything like that. But he's feeling weak, and that runny nose is bothering him or annoying him a lot. And he started coughing, but the phlegm is there, so it means he's probably on a mend, or at least on that upward slope. Hopefully he should be fine in the next couple of days. Despite the fact how he felt, I encouraged him to join me and Elizabeth on today's walk, and we drove to a new place we never visited before. I had a bit of high hopes, and it turned, I would say, average. It wasn't a bad place from the perspective of forest and lake and the trail. But yeah, I was expecting more of a woodland there, or forest, than I actually got. So overall, kind of average trail. No kind of points of interest that would make it more entertaining, I would say, or there was not much variety in terms of that trail, and the environment, it was pretty dull, especially in the first part. Then a little bit more interesting as we approached the forest, proper woodland, and the lake. I think they just did a lot of work in the last couple of months, or maybe 1 year or a year and a half, because it looks a bit fresh, all that stuff that they did. There are still some diggers there, and the picnic sites are kind of looking new, maybe a couple of months old, so it's definitely not an old site. So I suspect that is one part to blame. Another one is basically that half of the forest that I could see on Google Maps was cut over. So I don't know why somebody cut that forest. It looks a bit bald at the moment. There's a little small lake kind of, and then there's a longer lake afterwards. I will probably do a Instagram reel, and I'll drop it somewhere. Well, it will be on Instagram or on TikTok, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to put that into the actual blog post today. But you can check my socials later on, and you should be able to see a short kind of representation of how our walk was. Overall, a nice place to have a not very demanding walk. There's not many uphills or downhills. It's fairly straightforward walk and trail. No kind of boglands or anything like that you would need a special shoes or wellies. No things like, you won't get lost in there. There's not much kind of options to get lost, so pretty regular walk for families, or if you just want a relaxing trail rather than just something challenging. So not a bad place, but again, not my type. Good that we checked it once, and I probably won't be visiting that place many more times again, unless I will be driving past it and I'll have enough time to and willingness to go for a walk and check maybe in a later kind of weeks of that autumn period, maybe to check for some mushrooms. There are a couple of nice places that might give mushrooms. We found 2 or 3 birch bullets. They were obviously quite dry and old because of the recent weather, so there was not much opportunity for mycelium to grow any mushrooms. Other than that, yes, I'm now parked in front of the shop, going to grab some chicken breasts and do some fajitas for dinner. And that's basically it for today. Not much happening. I think I won't be taking too much of your time today. Maybe more updates will come tomorrow. I still need to write the blog post and embed this video in it. We are approaching 1 year anniversary of the project, of the blog and the podcast. So I started making slight changes and adjustments to the blog. It is very likely that I will change the design. Thank you. That's like a blooper. I need to turn that bloody thing off, because Siri seems to work when you never ask her. So yeah, the changes are coming. Definitely I already adjusted a little bit the structure of the blog post, eliminating a couple of clunky things that were looking a bit trashy and combining it into a neat set of social icons at the beginning of the post, just below the title, so everything is available there. I still think about how can I improve on maybe reporting on those satellite habits, because every time I create, this is like a big F off, image that I don't really like. It's a bit clumsy and clunky, so I must think about that. The theme will change, likely. I have 2 or 3 themes, potential themes to be used. So I'll be testing them. If you have any idea or kind of feedbacks that around them when they come in, please do report on them and tell me how they look like and how the feel is of them if you read the blog, because if you only watch the podcast or listen to the podcast and not visit the blog, then obviously you won't be interested. But yeah, check it out, have a look. I might change the theme today and see how it works. If it doesn't look good, I'll probably change it again in 2-3 days time, and then another 2-3 days and test it how it looks like, to see which one is fitting better the topic, the idea, the structure of the post and the blog. So yeah, I might plan for tomorrow hike or something like that. The weather is actually, today's weather was perfect for a hike, but we went for a family trip, so I'm not sure how tomorrow will go. We'll see. The only way to get to the point to know what happens tomorrow is to basically live through tomorrow. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for popping by and spending those 12 and a half, almost 13 minutes with me. Hope you have a great rest of the day, afternoon or evening, wherever you are, and stay tuned for tomorrow.